Hello, everybody. Welcome again to a great episode of Coffee Break. I am so very excited to be here with you again. I have Bill Stinnett. Did I say it right?
You did, sir.
Stinnett. Yes. I'm so glad I pronounced it right. Here on the show, he published a wonderful book called the Digital Selling Handbook. Grow your sales by engaging, prospecting, and converting customers the way they buy today. Bill, welcome to the show.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate being here.
I am very, very excited. Yes, this is going to be great. Bill, why this book and why now?
Great question. So I've been around the sales profession for over 40 years. I took my first job in sales when I was 14 years old in a retail environment. Spent over 20 in selling enterprise solutions to executive level. And in these past years, I've developed my own training business worldwide that we train nearly 10,000 people a year. And up until about 2019, what we were teaching from the 90s and early 2000s didn't change a whole lot in terms of how do you go out and fill your funnel with new sales opportunities. But as we all know, somewhere around early 2020, things changed pretty substantially. And there were already some changes underway in the marketplace that just accelerated the changes that we now see. But here are the statistics as we now hear them from Gartner. The average customer in a complex buying process spends about 17% of their time actually interacting with or dealing with would-be suppliers or providers, which means 83% of their time they're doing online research, offline research, meeting with their internal buying committee, etc. Well, if they're looking at 3 different suppliers, that means that any one of those potential suppliers might get 5 or 6% of the customer's attention. So if we're not leveraging digital assets in the form of writing, infographics, audio, and video in between those opportunities to meet with our customers' lives, we lose the ability to influence and persuade during 94% of the buying process. So here's what this is an impassioned plea is get up to speed with the way we're selling in 2022 and 2023 because customers are buying in a very different way and we need to learn how to sell in a different way.
This book is completely different than, a sales book that would have been published 5, even 10 years ago. Bill, what is sort of that important digitization that we all need to know about?
Okay. So probably one of the most important themes of this entire book is around what I refer to as asynchronous selling. So I already alluded to this a second ago. What asynchronous selling means is that I'm going to write, record, or publish something at one point in time, and my customer is actually going to read, watch, or listen to it at a later point in time. So it might be a blog post, it could be a post on LinkedIn, it could be an article or a white paper, it might be a video that we post on YouTube, or an infographic that somehow gets posted someplace or emailed to somebody. But the point is that a lot of the selling we do these days, in fact, 94% of the time, the customers aren't talking to us. Those spots in between, we have to get really good at selling, leveraging those kind of digital assets. So here's the point, that we can actually sell them on the idea that they should meet with us. Years ago, we could just call up and ask for an appointment so that we could do some selling. Today, we have to do some asynchronous digital selling to even get the appointment. So that's what this book is about. What makes it very, very different, to your point, than anything came out 4 or 5 years ago. In fact, here's something I think is absolutely true. At least half of what's in this book, I didn't even know 36 months ago. Didn't need to know it.
Wow, that's amazing. I mean, it is incredible, the rate of change going on right now and everything that is, digital and based in communication is completely changing. Now, Bill, you might have some people out there who would say to you, this is great, right? But I'm just going to have some kid do it, right? It's all digital and Instagram and, I've had the same customers buy from me the same way for the last 30 years. What do you say to them?
So if you have a set of customers that have bought from me for 30 years and will continue to, God bless you. Don't change a thing. However, that's not the case for most of us. It's getting more complicated. There are more players in the market because we've got so many new companies upstarted. And here's something I read recently. This is fantastic. It said that in today's economy, it's not the big fish that eats the little fish. It's the fast fish that eats the slow fish. And so in many cases, if we're kind of stuck in the old way of doing things, what I call the kind of manual or the analog approach to selling, then somebody's going to come along and engage with customers in between those opportunities when they speak. Our customers are going out and educating themselves these days. They're going to blogs, they're going to discussion forums, they're going to LinkedIn and Slack channels and other Gartner and getting reports on things. If we're not playing in that place where we can educate and build relationships, I like to call them e-relationships. In essence, helping people come to know, like, and trust us before they ever have a chance to meet us. And so we can delegate that to somebody else to do, but then they're going to like, know, and trust those people. We want them to get to know, like, and trust us and put our persona out there in the electronic digital marketplace if we want to learn to sell the way customers are buying.
The Digital Selling Handbook, grow your sales by engaging, prospecting, and converting customers. The way that they buy today, such an important topic. Bill Stinnett is my guest today. Bill, one last question that I ask everybody is about creativity. How can this book make us more creative?
Yeah, I think that the demand for more creativity already exists. I see, though, that a lot of sales professionals and small business owners and business owners of any size really have not embraced all of the latest technology they could be to be gaining access and building these e-relationships and having what I call e-conversations with people. So the way that this particular book will make you more creative is not only understanding more of these digital platforms and what we can do with them, but here's what I want to emphasize. It's how do we sell using the platform. So it's not just the fact that we have LinkedIn Navigator or we have Outreach or SalesLoft or some other tool that automates our outreach. It's what we say and what we ask and the story we're communicating using those digital platforms that this book really focuses on. So there's immense opportunity for creativity. This book was designed to help people get their arms around about how to do this. And so I go through the psychology of how customers buy today, and that then dictates how we need to learn how to sell today. So it's just chock full of ways to change what we've been doing and get up to speed with the way that what our customers are doing.
My guest today, Bill Stinnett, his book, super important. Go out and get a copy. It's called The Digital Selling Handbook. Grow your sales by engaging, prospecting, and converting customers the way they buy today. Bill, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Very honored. Bye-bye.